What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Travel Bites YouTube channel, the channel where I tell you anything and everything about the travel industry. Today we are going to be covering sorry about that, which airline is the best domestic airline here in 2023? What I am going to do is to provide you with some numbers so you can make your own decision on that. Obviously, different things are going to be important to different people, so the things we are going to cover are on-time ratings, the amount of lost luggage, additional fees that are charged on top of your airline ticket, as well as which airlines in the US have airport lounges. For the sake of this video, we are going to keep it narrowed down to the 7 largest airlines that fly domestically within the US. That includes Delta, United, Alaska, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and JetBlue. So let's go ahead and get started right away here with the on-time rating. As you can see, there's quite a bit of range here, almost a 20% difference between our top airline and our bottom airline when it comes to on-time rating. And some of these might surprise you. One of them in particular really surprised me. Like I said, these numbers are from 2022 because that's the most recent data that we have. So leading the pack, no surprise here, and you're going to notice a theme throughout this video except for one specific category where this airline is almost always going to lead, and that is Delta. Delta with an on-time rating of 83.63% is by far the most reliable. Coming in second is United Airlines, and this is the one that surprised me at 80.46%, so not that far behind Delta. And Alaska Airlines is tied in there with them at 80.36%, so just 10 hundredths of a percentage point of, sorry, 10 tenths of a percentage point. I don't know. I'm not a math guy, I'm an airline guy. So those two very close. And then you start dropping into the little bit more concerning numbers with American Airlines at 78.29%. Southwest Airlines, 74.06% is a little bit lower than we've seen from them in previous years. I think a lot of that is because they did run into some issues in 2022 with their system and had a couple outages that really knocked that down. Frontier Airlines, one of the smaller low budget carriers at 68.32%. And another shocker, JetBlue, an airline that people love. A lot of people that fly JetBlue will only fly JetBlue. Their on time rating, one of the worst in the business at 66.35%. So if you're not that worried about your flight getting bumped or you're okay with being a couple hours late, maybe your luggage actually getting to your destination is the most important thing to you. So let's go ahead and jump in. The numbers that we're going to use today are from September of 2022, which is the most recent data I could find, and this is the number of lost bags per 1,000 bags. So once again, Delta at the top only losing 3.1 bags per 1,000. That is an incredibly low number. The industry average is actually above 6, so Delta doing very well in that particular category. Southwest Airlines at 4.6 per 1,000, so still doing very well, but you notice there's a significant jump there from 3.1 to 4.6. United, right on par with Southwest at 4.6. Frontier, this is where they're making up some ground, only 5.1 lost bags per 1,000. My personal thought, though, that is that there may be another reason for that. I'll get into that when we talk about the surprises, where I spelled the word surprises wrong down at the bottom as to why I think that's the case. Alaska only losing 5.9 bags per 1,000, and then JetBlue and American are right around the industry average if you include the international airlines at 6.1 and 6.3 per 1,000 respectively. As you can see, the couple of surprises below though in the low cost carriers are Allegiant at only 1.7 bags lost per 1,000. Their lost bags are almost non-existent, and Spirit at 4.4. And that brings me back to talking about Frontier as well. The one thing that Allegiant, Spirit, and Frontier all have in common is very high charges to check a bag. So, based on that theory, my guess is they're losing less because they're handling a lot less bags. I know this is per 1,000, but the chances are if you're handling tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands less bags, you're probably going to lose less of them. So a lot of people on those airlines using carry-ons, personal items, things like that to save more money on their fare. Probably a big part of the reason you see them lower on this lost luggage. But while we're talking about additional fees for bags, let's go ahead and jump into that category, which is the additional fees. These additional fees would include things like seat assignments, carry-ons, and checked bags. And the listed amount that I have on your screen is the average amount per passenger per ticket by each airline. Southwest by far leads the pack in this category at $0 in additional fees. When you fly Southwest, you can bring a personal item, a carry-on item, and 2 checked bags, and that is all part of your base fare. The difference here, though, is seat assignments cannot really be considered with Southwest because you don't get to choose your seat. Now, if you want to get really nitpicky, Southwest does offer that early bird check-in where you can get checked in early to be in one of those first boarding groups. That's usually around $15, so that's the only type of fee you would see. But even at $15, that's half of what the other airlines would be. The next three that are all competitive with each other are Alaska, American, and Delta, all of them seeing a $30 fee. For the most part, that is just a single checked bag fee. You'll still usually get a carry-on free and a personal item, but that does depend on your fare. With the creation of basic economy fares over the past few years, those fares would charge you additional for a seat assignment or for a checked bag, so you may actually see those numbers rise. But most people do avoid those basic economy tickets so they can have their baggage included. Next up, and not too far off, are JetBlue and United at just $5 more, so $35 per passenger. And then the one that we really see stand out here is Frontier, with their cost for a single carry-on, a checked bag, and a seat assignment. The average additional amount per passenger is $145. However, their fares are on average $150 to $200 lower than the other airlines, which still makes them more competitive. But when you consider that their on time rating was one of the lowest of the ones that we talked to, if those are things that are important to you, you may want to avoid Frontier. That being said, I like flying Frontier. I just fly with a personal item, and I fly when, if I got bumped, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So it really just depends on what your preferences are. Alrighty, and then the final thing here is going to be airport lounges. Like I said, we're just talking about domestic airlines today, and the four that have airport lounges in the US are Delta, American, Alaska, and United. I wanted to rate these by the amount of different lounges they had in the US, but that is changing so rapidly at this point that I didn't want to put numbers out there because Delta has opened dozens of new lounges in the past couple of years, and American's getting pretty competitive there too. But Delta and American do still stand out quite a bit from Alaska and United. Alaska, I believe, only owns 6 of their own airport lounges, but they partner with other airlines to have access to over 620, which actually means they have the largest airport lounge network. United Airlines, again, they're a bit smaller. I want to say they have 32 lounges total compared to the over 50 that Delta has, but they're getting there. So that's basically all the information I wanted to provide for this video. Just a quick overview of the different US airlines and which one may be the best. It really just depends on what you consider important. If you like videos like this, give this one a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you on the next one.
In a world where a single quote can inspire and drive the most stubborn of mules, Unknown Destination is here to deliver